Have you ever noticed that the healthiest gardens rarely contain only vegetables? The old southern gardens often had something else growing alongside the tomatoes, beans, and squash, wildflowers. Not because they looked pretty, although they certainly did, but because they served an important purpose. Today, we're exploring why wildflowers belong near vegetable gardens and why gardeners have been planting them together for generations. Many older southern gardens weren't planted in neat rows separated from nature. Flowers, herbs, vegetables, and fruit trees often grew side by side. To modernize, these gardens may have looked a little wild, but those gardeners understood something important. A garden isn't just a collection of plants, it's an ecosystem. Wildflowers played an important role in keeping that ecosystem healthy and productive. Many vegetables depend on pollinators to produce abundant harvests. Squash, cucumbers, melons, and pumpkins depend heavily upon pollinator activity nearby. Wildflowers provide nectar and pollen throughout the growing season, helping attract bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects into the garden. The more pollinators that visit your garden, the better your harvest often becomes. Older southern gardeners understood that flowers were not separate from the garden, they were part of it. Nature rarely grows only one thing, yet modern gardening sometimes encourages us to separate everything into categories. Vegetables in one area, flowers somewhere else, and herbs in another location entirely. Older gardens often mix them together because diversity creates resilience. Different plants attract different insects, support soil health in unique ways, and create a stronger, healthier growing environment. The old southern gardens often succeeded because they embraced variety instead of fighting it. Not every insect in the garden is harmful. In fact, many insects are working hard to help your plants thrive. Ladybugs feed on aphids, lacewings hunt soft-bodied pests, and hoverflies pollinate flowers while helping control unwanted insects. Wildflowers provide shelter, nectar, and habitat for many of these beneficial garden allies. Sometimes the best pest control isn't another spray. It's creating a garden where nature helps do the work for you. There is something else wildflowers provide that often gets overlooked: beauty, movement, and life. A vegetable garden can feed your family, but a garden filled with flowers, butterflies, birds, and bees feeds something deeper. Many of the gardens we remember most weren't perfect. They weren't spotless or perfectly organized. They were alive. One reason wildflowers worked so well in southern gardens is because many native species are naturally adapted to local conditions. They often tolerate heat, drought, humidity, and poor soil better than many ornamental plants. Once established, many wildflowers return year after year with very little effort. That's exactly the kind of gardening wisdom older generations appreciated. If you're planting a vegetable garden this year, consider leaving room for wildflowers, not just around the edges, but woven throughout the garden itself. You'll attract more pollinators, support beneficial insects, increase biodiversity, and create a garden that feels a little more like the old southern gardens many of us still remember. At the South Georgia Seed Company, we believe gardens should do more than produce food. They should feel alive. Sometimes all it takes is a few wildflowers to remind us how nature intended a garden to grow. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what wildflowers are growing in your garden this year. Until next time, happy gardening, and to order seeds, visit us at the South Georgia Seed Company.